What are the key challenges facing the youth of today? What is the National Youth Development Agency's preparations for this year's Youth Month? How is the June 16 detachment celebrated? Is the NYDA capable of ensuring that the country benefits from its largely youthful population? What time is it? It's question time. Welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. The country celebrates the month of June as Youth Month with a special focus on the 16 June 1976 Soweto Student Uprisings. President Jacob Zuma has appointed an Inter-Ministerial-Task team to prepare for the commemoration of the 40th anniversary of the famous protests. The problems that continue to affect the youth, including unemployment and shortage of skills, cannot be overemphasized. For its part, the NYDA is tasked with tackling the challenges that the nation's youth are faced with. But do young South Africans have confidence in the NYDA? We are live. And if you can call us an A of views, the numbers to dial 089-110-4210, our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Katu Ramkumba, is the National Youth Development Agency's Chief Executive Officer. And we are indeed about to hear what the NYDA has in store this year as we celebrate or mark the 40th anniversary of the June 16 uprisings. Katu, welcome to Question Time. We thank you for the time.
Thank you very much for having us.
You're going to be launching the Youth Month on the 1st at Hector Peterson Memorial Square. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, look, we will be launching the month on the 1st of June at Hector Peterson Memorial. The idea is to share with South Africans the plans that the National Youth Development Agency and the government largely has in store of the activities that we will be embarking on to commemorate the 40th anniversary of June 16. The launch will be addressed, or it will be the program will be outlined by the Minister in the Presidency responsible for planning, monitoring and evaluation, Honorable Jeff Khadebe.
Okay. But there's something which I've noticed. When you go through your website and all that, I'm seeing black youth only. Where are white people?
Look, we obviously indicate in all our communications. In fact, the National Youth Development Agency Act number 54 of 2008, which gave birth to the National Youth Development Agency, specifically states that we cater for all young South Africans, as long as you are between the ages of 14 and 35, we provide for you. And what we do is, in all our communications, promotion and recruitment efforts, we cast our net wide. We have seen, the young people from the minority groups like your whites and Indians mainly participating on volunteer programs. I guess this also has a historical effect in the sense that in the main, those young people who are requiring intervention from a skills development point of view, those who their parents or their relatives can't afford to assist them with funding to start businesses, are mainly blacks and in particular Africans, because of the historical nature of our country and where we come from. But by and large, and for our efforts, we invite everybody, and no young person will be turned away from the NYDA or not be assisted on the basis of race or color or even religion for that matter.
So, Japi van Tonder, somewhere in Jackalsdal, can come to the NYDA, white and Afrikaner as he is, and say, I need assistance, I need 30 million rands or so to help start a business. You'll assist him?
Definitely. We have said that ours is about building a better South Africa, and part of our programs are programs that are aimed at social cohesion, which amongst other things seeks to foster relations between among South Africans of all races. So that's what we try to do Okay. Of course, by our own interventions, we can only assist up to 100,000 with the grant, but through our tripartite alliance with CIFA and IDC, we can be able to assist Jappy van Stonder with 30 million if he qualifies and meet the requirements.
Okay. Nomsa, you are in Reeds in the Free State.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Lokowela.
Madekwana Nomsa.
Hey, ndina company ya Ranola Trading. So they is apply the fund ka NYDA Bloemfontein. Problem and they so far at to receive any update.
No apply.
Application yanga kusokumula abantu chitu tidiburukete yani ndikita the follow up nga the email but whenever respond abachi promise ori but phone abang update but so far how to bana mthono nkwamao so ndisa diburi mara nditibala according to the milayo ya NYDA ndobona uchikothi mutu upinduliwa within 21 working days whether over successful kana asingova successful but so far ndo apply under the 5 the April this year mara so far atupinduliwa.
Okay, Nomsa, thank you very much. Well, Nomsa, they basically saying she has applied and she hasn't received any feedback. She's looking for funding, and according to the NYDA rules, they'll respond within 21 days, and it's been more than 21 days and she hasn't received any feedback. That's basically all that she was saying. So,
yeah, look, I would maybe just suggest that maybe Nomsa drops me an email. Okay. Which I'm sure I'll provide before I leave your show, and then we can follow it up. Indeed, we endeavor to stay within the policy provisions, which says that we must be able to make contact or respond to young people within 21 working days. So cases like this one, we certainly will look at them with a view of not just addressing the complaint that Nomsa is raising, but also to address, for all other young people who might be experiencing similar challenges.
Do you only fund ANC Youth League comrades?
Never. We don't. I made a point when I took office over 2 years ago as the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Development Agency that on a quarterly basis we publish on our website a report on all the beneficiaries of the NYD on all products and services. The idea really was to dispel that particular myth, to say that here are young South Africans who have benefited from the agency in this particular quarter, and also to say that in the event that somebody can justify and can say that indeed these young people were assisted because of particular affiliation, then we can be taken to task. So we've basically given the information to South Africans to say, take this information, hold us accountable if indeed you think that we are operating along party lines. It has never happened at the time that I've been responsible for this agency, and it will never happen. Every young South Africans will be treated equally on the basis of the merits of the application and the needs of that particular young person.
Shoti, you are in Limpopo.
Hey, how are you, Mpho?
I'm very well. Thanks for the call, Shoti.
Thank you very much, Mpho. I'm calling you. I'm from rural areas in Limpopo.
Where in particular?
The Mpho, we just read it in the newspapers. We see them in the televisions.
Shoti?
Hello, Mpho.
Where in particular are you? Which rural areas?
Mafefe.
Mafefe?
Yes.
Okay. What's your nearest town?
So there is a lot of youth there. They are doing agriculture, they are farming. Then they don't come in the rural areas. They are particular in the urban areas. So we want them in the rural areas to come and help the youth there with the NYDA. So, and the other question that I want to ask our guest there, if I'm over 35, I'm still eligible to apply, or I'm no longer eligible to apply for NYDA? Okay,
thank you very much.
I didn't get the last part.
The last part is saying if he's over 35.
Okay.
Is he eligible to get funding from you guys?
No. We, by law, we can only assist young people between the ages of 14 and 35.
But now, what if you are part of a cooperative which is dominated by young people.
This is part of what we're attempting to address now with the amendment of the NYDA Act, a process which is currently underway, where we're saying that potentially, specifically for cooperative-based businesses, we should allow funding from NYDA resources as long as young people own 51% of the shareholding in the particular company. Just to go back to the initial concern about our presence in rural areas, we certainly accept that the agency has inherited a largely urban infrastructure when it relates to offices from the former Umsibombo Youth Fund. What we have attempted to do in the period of existence of the agency is to get into agreements with municipalities so that we can open local youth offices. And I'm happy to say today, Mpho, that currently we have been able to resource 211 local youth offices that are located in 211 municipalities, where we have, through the assistance of the services sector, who have given us some money. We have been able to employ interns who are there on a daily basis. So young people don't have to travel many kilometers to get to full service branches of the NYDA. They can go to the nearest local municipality. They'll find a staff member of the NYDA in the form of the intern. They'll be able to be guided on the process of whatever developmental needs that they have.
Mala, you are in Burgersfort.
Hello, Mpho. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
Thank you. I want to make just a small comment.
Okay, Mala.
I want to tell the CEO there to tell his team to go out there, visit the rural areas, and share what they are having for them. Because there is a problem. There are those they do not even know what NYDA stands for, what is its duty, like things like that. But if ever they can go out there and advertise themselves and tell the youth that it can help the country and it can help also the youth, it can remove them from the streets, you see.
Okay, Ndarimala, thank you very much. I think the rural question is coming out quite strongly.
Yeah, it is. And also I think we must also be able to provide context to the challenges that we face internally as well as the agency. This is because you would know, or rather maybe let me indicate that the agency only has a budget of about 413 million. In this 413 million, it must be understood within the context of South Africa, which is generally and largely a youthful nation. You are talking about some 20 million or so of people who, in some way or the other, will have some expectation of the agency to intervene. So with those limited resources, there's only so much that can be done. But we do go to rural areas through our outreach programs, where all our branches have programs where they visit communities, they talk about the work that the NYDA does, and so forth and so forth. But the challenge that does arise is that out of those engagements, you then create an expectation and a demand. And these young people then come in their thousands. They want grants, but the budget that we have is not enough to respond to this demand. So there are all these issues that we are engaging broadly in government, but also, our efforts are also largely concentrated on lobbying and advocating that all other government entities and government departments in their own spaces must prioritize youth development equally, and most importantly, the private sector as well should do the same.
Now, how do you then marry your existence to the June 16 detachment, which we referred to when we started?
Look, if you look at the mandate of the agency, it's largely to respond or to facilitate and mainstream a situation where youth development thrives in society. And if you look back to June 16, 1976, young people sacrificed their lives for a better life for the majority. That better life can only come when all of us in society, in the public sector, private sector, and civil society, invest in youth development. So the agency was established, amongst other things, to provide an integrated approach for the country insofar as youth development is concerned. So our existence really should seek to create a platform where South Africa in general is able to respond to the challenges and the needs that young people are faced with, so that we can create a platform as a country for young people to live a better life, that which those who perished in June 16, 1976 were fighting for.
Now, you're saying, I mean, your budget as the NYDA is only 400 and odd million rand per annum. Is it well managed, or you're just dishing out tenders there to friends?
The budget is well managed, and I don't say so myself. The Auditor General of South Africa says so. The Auditor General last year gave us a clean audit for the first time. He says that we are exercising good governance. He says that we are prudent with financial resources. He says that we are managing the resources the way that we should. And he says that we are delivering for young people of this country given the limited resources that we have. In fact, he goes on to say that, or to affirm, that we achieved the highest performance since the establishment of the NYDA. Under this administration, the NYDA is managing resources the manner in which the PFMA treasury regulations and good governance in general requires or expect us to do. And we're trying our best to make sure that every single rand is stretched for the benefit of young South Africans in this country.
And just run this again by me once more. Who gets funding from you?
Look,
and in which models?
Yeah, the young people who will get funding will vary in categories on the basis of the priorities that we have set out in a particular year. For an example, right now, the outgone board had prioritized education and skills development as our primary focus areas, which is anchored by entrepreneurship development. So within the education space, you would find that we give scholarships to academically excelling young people, mainly those from rural areas. So all you need to be is, you just need to be a young South African between those particular age groups, and you need to have excelled, passed with an average at least of 70% when you pass your matric, and we'll send you to the best universities in this country, and you will study anything you want to study. And that scholarship will cover everything from tuition fees, accommodation, meals allowance, if you stay outside of residence, even travel allowance, anything that is required to make your studies comfortable. You can also benefit from career guidance programs that we give. If you have failed matric, you can benefit by being put back in a classroom exercise, being given lectures who will assist you to revisit the subjects that you have failed so that you can be able to pass. If you want to be in business, you can be assisted with registering a business for free. You can be assisted with a grant. If what you need is not more than 100,000, you can be assisted with business support services like websites development, marketing strategies, and so forth and so forth. If you need more, we have gone out of our way to also enter into an agreement with SIFA and IDC. With SIFA, we can give you a loan of up to 5 million. With IDC, we can give you a loan of up to 50 million. Okay,
hold it there. Mamnar, you are in Polokwane. Welcome.
Hi, Mpho, how are you?
I'm well. How's it?
I'm all right, man.
Yes.
Look, I wanted to, tell, the CEO there that, there's a need. I think there isn't a lot that they're doing in agriculture. We're very worried because we are a group of young farmers here in Limpopo. Majority of us have applied to the National Youth Development Agency, for help in terms of the infrastructure that we need in our farms.
Yeah.
And the response that we've been getting, it hasn't been that good. I don't know what else should we do, because we have submitted the forms, we've done those basic interviews that they sometimes do, but they always tell you about the limited budget that they have. But year on year we always try and make
Are you already farming though, Mamnar?
Yeah. Hello?
Are you already farming?
Mpho, I'm telling you about young emerging farmers in Limpopo. We are farming as it is. I'm a poultry farmer. I do layers, so I produce eggs.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, in order for us to grow even bigger, what we sometimes need is, the grant that NYDA gives, it could go a long way in terms of capacitating us with the infrastructure to even, moving forward to become, commercial.
Okay, Mamnara, thank you very much. I think he's raising a good point in that the agriculture and farming sectors are some sectors which are normally, overlooked.
Yeah, look, not for us. For us, the agricultural space, specifically in the last 2 years, has been an area that we have focused on. In fact, we have even taken a decision to say that where we are dealing with young farmers who forms themselves into cooperatives through the NYDA grant, we will even go beyond that 100,000 limitation. So through the cooperative grant, the special dispensation that we've created, we will look at your requirements. You can get anything up to 500,000 or whatever your requirements are. We will look at it because we understand that agriculture is one of those key industries in the sub-Saharan Africa that needs to be exploited better. There's a lot, Mpho, that we're importing when we shouldn't. Right now, he speaks about being a poultry farmer.
Yes.
We are importing chickens from Brazil and all those things, right? We're getting chickens from America, which people are even questioning the health issues and other things surrounding them. We shouldn't. We're importing potatoes and things like that, things that are daily requirements. We shouldn't. That's why we're focusing on that specific area, and we are trying to assist. In Limpopo, we've assisted a group of young farmers. Some of them have been successful to a point where they are supplying some of the big food companies in this country. So that is a space that, as a city, I would encourage more young people to go into that space. If they come to us and we can't assist them, we'll try and refer them to other government departments and entities that can give them the support that they require, because we understand that the agricultural economy still needs to be exploited a lot more, and it can assist us in greater ways to address the triple challenges that are facing us as a country, that of unemployment, poverty and inequality, especially amongst young people.
Goodman, you're in Mpumalanga. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, Goodman.
Yeah, look, man, I just want to quickly ask 2 questions.
Okay, very quickly.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask from Katu.
Yes.
I think the primary reason why the Youth Commission Act was actually repealed was that it could not reach out to young people in the deep rural areas. And I've never heard of any outreach program that the NYDA has ever engaged in places like Bushbuckridge, these rural areas.
Yeah.
Do they have any plan to have such programs extended to young people down in the deep rural areas? And again, do they have programs where they engage in seminars where they will actually teach young people on how to approach institutions like IDC and so forth? Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Goodman. Quickly.
Okay, thank you.
No, quickly, like I said, we do have outreach programs in areas like Bushbuckridge. We have the full service branch in Bombela. We have another full service branch in Polokwane, which are somewhat closer proximity-wise. And I think my suggestion would be that the caller must maybe engage one of the 2 offices, understand the program of outreach when they're coming to those areas. And indeed, we do a variety of workshops. These are done sometimes in partnership with our fellow partners that are spoken to IDC, CIFA, sometimes with institutions like SIDA, just to give guidance on how you go about approaching business issues. We also have our own program which is about entrepreneurship development or entrepreneurship awareness training program, which addresses all these issues within the commercial space. So
are you saying, therefore, Katu, that the NYDA is meant for South African young people only if you are some Dafadzo Dumbuchena from Harare?
No, unfortunately, we can't assist non-citizens for the simple reason that we are governed by an act which says
even if you are in South Africa.
Even if you are in South Africa, unless if you have earned, a citizenship, then we can be able to assist you.
All right. Your email address?
The email address, my personal email address is katu.ramukumba@nyda.gov.za. The telephone number for the NYDA is 011-651-7000. Our website is www.nyda.gov.za. young people must visit and to understand what do we do, what do we offer, but also to be able to engage with us and help us improve the operations of the agency for their own benefit.
All right, so it's katu.ramukumba
at NYDA.gov.za.
All right. And that was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. From me, the crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.